Okay, we're live with another Cartridge Club Hangout. It's just me and Musty so far. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good. I'm good. It's going to be a nervous week.
What's going on?
Well, Thursday night is Endgame.
Hmm.
And Sunday night is a big day for Thrones.
Hey, Troy.
Hey, can you hear me
Hello.
all right?
Yeah.
You're not getting weird echoes or anything?
No.
All right.
It's just a itty bitty bit, but it's not. It's certainly not across the world echoes.
Yeah.
That's quite the ladder you've got back there.
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked that up off of a deal or whatever a while ago. But it's totally useless to me because you have to lean it up against something, and I got these like rafters in here. Like I'm in the garage right now.
Mhm.
I got rafters that are, I don't even know how, they must be like 13, 14 feet up in the air. And I don't have a ladder long enough to actually get up there to deal with it.
Oh, that's no good.
Even though that one is, but it has to lean up against something, so I can't get into like the middle of the garage, and I really don't just want to lean it up against a rafter because I know the bottom's going to come crashing down on me, and I'm going to go flying to the floor. So I need like a really large ladder and some proper lighting in this room because it looks like I'm trying to do a horror story.
Is that your cleaning station?
Yeah.
It's always nice when you can reuse pieces.
Oh yeah, man! Like this whole setup's like a reuse situation. I got everything like from like everything in here is reused. It's crazy. Just stuff that was lying around. And I got it all like old things my wife used for like her craft room that she doesn't use anymore, and like just all that kind of stuff. And now it like holds all my supplies and everything, and it's great in here.
That's cool.
But I'm trying to figure out how to use this light.
That is quite a light. Can you reflect it against the wall, like in toward the camera, like not like into the camera, but like
I kind of.
That's not
It's better.
It's a little bit better. Yeah.
Hey, Jared in the chat.
Jared in the chat.
Hey, Ryan. You need to unmute. I'm still using the security features just in case. Even though the link's no longer public.
You mean I shouldn't have posted that to 4chan?
No.
I could have said it. I could have said worse, but
yeah. Don't pull a THQ Nordic.
Yeah, we're not doing that.
No. Jared has requested a link, so I will do that.
Someone sends a link. He's gonna show us something cool. Uh-oh. One of these days, I actually had a thought. Let me bounce this off you guys. Because I've got all these games behind me, Jared. And so one of the thoughts I was having is, would it be interesting if, like, one night on Twitch, every once in a while, it was just a Q&A session while I clean games? Because like some of these haven't been cleaned since I moved, and so I don't know what if they've deteriorated at all since that point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Troy makes money off that.
I'm just trying. Who Troy has?
Cleaning games. He likes it more than playing games.
Right now I'm actually trimming minis.
Ooh.
Dungeons and Dragons.
Nerd.
I'm being told by a bunch of video game guys that I'm a nerd. Thanks.
I
That's like the lowest of the nerdism right now.
I need to clean this guy out. I've been using this for my PC controller.
Nerd.
For nerd.
Nerds.
So I need to. For some reason, the square button's not registering fast enough. So
That's
I need
called
to get
old
in there.
age, Musty.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's some gunk right there.
No, I was talking about your age, not its age.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I take that
Blame it
top
on the
off
controller for
and,
your slow reflexes.
clean the pads underneath it.
Yeah, that's what I need to do is open it up and see what I can do. I think I may have figured out my streaming hiccups though, because I've been having issues with my capture card like freaking out.
I thought you got it. Didn't you get a new one?
I did, and the same thing was happening, which I could not explain why that was the case. But yeah, the one that James sent down was still doing the same thing that the other one was, and so I tried dialing the bit rate up so that the encoder would have to work faster, but that didn't seem to fix it. And then I realized that I had this one, the HD60, plugged into a USB 3.0 port instead of a USB 2.0 port. So I have switched that back, and I'm hoping, because this is not compatible with 3.0, it still works, it just doesn't work optimally, and I hope that that does the trick. Fingers crossed that does the trick.
That's weird because 3.0 is usually backwards compatible
Well,
with 2.0.
it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they adopted the Sony school of backwards compatibility and decided that things aren't always going to be backwards compatible.
People don't use it enough.
That's right. That's right. Come on, that was marginally topical.
Well, like, what's Xbox doing now about backwards compatibility? Have they just stopped? Because I haven't heard anything about it lately.
They haven't. I mean, they've been adding games. They've been doing some more of the like Xbox One X enhanced stuff, but they've been adding things to Game Pass. They haven't added new original Xbox games yet in a while.
Yeah, not in a while. They did do a little bit for 360, like I think Ninja Gaiden 2 and a couple siphon filters. What's the one with Sam Fisher? Splinter Cell.
All the Splinter Cells, all 4 of them, right?
No, not the original 3.
I'm sorry, the 360 ones.
Yeah, the 360 ones.
Double Agent, Conviction, Rogue Agent,
Blacklist. It's Blacklist. Rogue Agent, I think you're thinking of
Mission
007.
Impossible. Oh yeah.
Well, that, but GoldenEye Rogue Agent.
That's what it is.
That was an odd one.
Okay, let's see how nasty this is. Ugh. Ew. I don't know that I've ever opened this one up. Oh, come on. Did I miss one?
I started painting my first miniature.
Nerd.
Nice.
Nerd.
This is a warrior.
Hey, be
My
nice.
first ever attempt at it. So it's coming along. It's still wet. So I got other things to do to it. I don't know. Probably too washed out for you to even see it.
Gold paint.
Is that a...
Here's your thumbnail.
Nerd. You can put like the word nerd right here.
We get that one with Troy with his mouth open there. He's all happy. Yeah.
Proud to be a nerd, guys. Proud to be a nerd.
Yeah, that's not happening unless YouTube does it for me.
Oh, is there a screw underneath here?
This is actually, I regret having to say this, but this is actually way more calming than cleaning video games.
Painting?
Yeah.
Hey, George.
So mind
Good.
recalling for a second, and I'll show you something pretty cool.
Sure.
Flip the camera around. Where the freaking hell is it? There we go. Can you see? No, I'm not the cool thing. Wait. This here is a new consoleized Game Boy Advance. It has a RGB output on the screen. You can put a plug on the top. Let's watch this, and it's backlit as well. So if I turn it on.
No. I think Jared froze up.
Yep.
No. See something.
At like 1 frame a minute.
It's a Pokemon game. I can tell that much.
See the Game Freak logo. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, it's got TV out on it, so I've got a little dock here for it.
You need like mod
And-
and so it like gives better picture.
You just sit it on that dock on your TV and plug your controller into it and everything, and you're good to go.
That's cool.
And it's also portable.
If we could see it, it would be a lot cooler.
Oh, can you not see that?
Oh,
It's a
the
slide.
frame rate
You're
of
a
video
you're a
is jumping around.
you're a slideshow right now.
Yeah.
Well, I am in New Zealand. It's got to take all of those pictures and store them in the satellite, and then it's got to go on a kangaroo's back and hop across Australia with those pictures. And then the Kiwi's got to deliver it to my phone, so it takes a bit of time.
And then they have to do it through dial-up.
Yeah, and I have to pay them in potatoes. So I'm on the unlimited potato plan, so it's pretty good. Do you have? All right, I'm about to go, but anyway, do you have these over here? Have you ever seen this fruit?
What is that?
Mango?
No, it's a feijoa.
Never heard of it.
I don't think so.
Say
I
that
think
again.
It's like
Say that one more time. What did you call that?
feijoa.
Feijoa.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Cut that
Awful.
open. It's awful.
It's a New Zealand only thing. Like, I don't know, what do you have? That's American exclusive fruit. You only
Apples.
get that in New Zealand.
Apples.
Oh yeah. Fuck, what's an apple? I can't wait till the day I go to America to try an apple.
We have plenty. We have Red Delicious. We have Granny Smith ones.
Are they the green ones?
Yep.
The fabled green ones I've heard so much about.
Yep.
I'm going to jump out of chat or mute myself. So sorry about the slideshow. I
No,
thought it
that's
would
cool,
be
man.
And no worries.
When's that video coming? You said this weekend?
This weekend, yeah.
Awesome.
You'll be on
I worked
Retro
with
RGB
Will
again.
on this one to actually make that screen, so it's pretty cool mod. It's just a part swap. So you take the original screen out of your Game Boy, put that one in, just drop it in, and solder 5 wires in. Pretty cool. I don't know if you can hear me, so I'm going to go.
We can. We
Yeah.
can see your
Oh.
patio.
All right, see you. Oh, yeah, it's facing the wrong way. Anyway. See you.
See you, Jared.
Yeah.
Topical here.
Always a little spotlight.
He was on Retro RGB for his Atari Lynx like about a month or so ago when they were talking about him when he
Didn't they fly him into some convention because of it?
uh
Somebody did.
some con in Australia.
Bunch of con artists.
Yep.
Just-
But those guys who are always talking about like the best televisions and whatnot and RGB this and that, and they gave him a spotlight where they talked about how he consoleized an Atari Lynx.
It was PAX. He says
Oh, it
in
was
chat.
yeah, it was PAX
That's
Australia.
yeah.
Now I gotta put this thing back together. I
Can't hear you guys at all right now.
I got this controller apart.
Battery just died on the speaker.
Convenient.
Let's get a lip talk to Troy here now, so he thinks he can't hear us, so we can just pretend we can say it. There's somebody behind you. There's somebody behind you.
Did you see the big saw blades back there against that back wall? It's kind of scary. I think his head's covering them right now. But if he moves, there's two big circular saw blades back there.
I see. Yep. It's just gonna be like Half-Life 2 here. Where's the gun they can just shoot those?
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. We're commenting on your circular saw blades right back there. There they are.
You're like, hey, check out that guy's garage. It'd be better if the lights would stay on in here.
I've never opened up a PS3 controller before, and I'm kind of regretting having done it now.
Yeah. So what's been going on? Can't think of any news or anything to bring up.
Square Enix.
There's a rumor of Switch stuff coming, including Chris Kohler saying there's going to be a direct this week.
That would be cool.
Or at least a reveal of something this week. Like the budget model Switch.
Yeah, I heard the talk that the Super Switch won't come out till at least next year too. So I wonder if they're all going to try to release their consoles next year. The PS5, Xbox 2, and the Super Switch. I wonder if those will be all next year.
I think that's the plan, unless one of them is ready to try and beat everyone to market. But I don't know. Depending on who it is, the move to beat everyone else to market will be a good move, or it'll be the worst possible thing ever, because there's only two things that anything could possibly be nowadays. The best or the worst. It depends, right? Like if Sony isn't inclined to be first. They don't need to be, really, do they?
Yeah, the last time
technically they've already revealed more information than anyone else has, I suppose.
I mean, Xbox did reveal stuff, just not insane details.
Yeah.
They're
just talking xCloud, right? Mostly.
Well, that a little bit, and apparently they revealed a little bit of specs for one of their two units that they're going to be putting out. The lower tier one, they talked about a little bit.
Gotcha. Scarlet.
I don't know if it's even called that anymore. I think the I can't remember what the lower tier one is, but the higher tier one apparently is
Maverick. That's what it is. It's Maverick.
No, it's not. It's
Oh, is that the sad one?
Maybe.
Is Maverick the sad one?
All digital.
Yeah. But it's
marketing geniuses over there, I tell you.
Yeah, I want to say Lockhart for the lower one, and Anaconda for the higher tier one.
I don't want none. Man,
Next gen is going to be very interesting.
Yes.
With hearing that Sony is going to be doing backwards compatibility with PS4 stuff and VR now, bare minimum achieved. Woo! But
yeah,
it's I'm just going to be really annoyed if it's like the same games coming out in different boxes again, because like everything's going to be so similar. Things are going to be back compatible. Like if PS5 games have to come out also as PS4 games, and they're not the same game in the same case, with it'll boot up different settings. I don't know what the hell they're doing.
Yeah,
it might not be
like
possible,
it was at the beginning of this.
Still.
Like it was at the beginning of this generation.
Yeah, where it's like you had to release a 360 version and a PS3 version, and alongside the PS4 and the Xbox One.
I mean, it'd be cool. I don't know if they do it, but I could see them doing something kind of, let's say, an example like The Last of Us, because I that one rumor I heard about the PS5/4 releases is that there would be a PS5 release of The Last of Us 2. Now, I would imagine that they maybe do something like the PS4 version comes out, this year, and then next year when the PS5 is out, there's
the
complete edition, that you get the DLC, and
however much or little there is for that game.
Yeah.
Well, couldn't they do what Xbox did this generation, right? Was to for some of those early release games, they did the 4K patches. Like, could they sell? I realize they would be shooting themselves in the foot financially, but could they take it and say, hey, you
Here's
bought
the
this
PS4 copy, and now there's a patch if you put it in the PS5.
Yes, that's what I'm getting at. Thank you.
That might be
the only thing I can think of is, let's say there is a new gimmick that is say, hey, the PS5 version is this because, and sorry, granted, you can play the PS4 version, but it can't do this. The reason why you buy the PS5 version, I'm not Mark Cerny, but I'm saying, like, how do you?
What's the hook? Yeah,
that you buy it again. The only thing I can think of is complete edition. Complete edition. So,
pause for a second. Hey, Oz.
Hello, Oz.
Hey, evening, guys.
Oh,
Hey.
We're just discussing Sony's plans for
the PS5 and backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Or whatever they're going to do with it.
Yeah. Just kind of speculating and saying what we do and don't want them to do and what we think they're going to do.
Well, one of the other rumors is what they said they're going to have the Plus Premium or something like that too. I think I heard, which I don't quote me on this. I thought the rumor was that would also like include whatever PS Now is or whatever, like the streaming where you stream PS3 and PS1 games.
It's their attempt to fold their Plus and their Game Pass into each other.
I still get to ever try out. Now I think it's Now, right? PS Now is 1, 2, and 3.
I can't believe they haven't cut the price in half to match Game Pass yet.
That's a big gripe on my part about that. Why I won't try it, because it's still too pricey, and two, it's like. And I heard at launch it was really choppy because it's streaming it. It's not sticking on your hardware.
It was exclusively streaming. I mean, it still is to some extent, but yes, they have downloadable now.
I think everything before PS4 is still streaming. Probably they would have to, but I think a lot, or I don't know how much, but some PS4 games are downloadable. I don't know if it's all of them.
I could see probably 1, 2, and 3. The main reason why, the two main reasons why is it's probably easier structurally because the PS4 is not built like the 2 and 3, where you're probably just doing emulation. So
they just have to output a video signal then, and not all the
and the thing is, it's easier to stream them to your console because there probably isn't much data. Like the data for it isn't bad, so they could probably just stream it all to you. as opposed to having to have it downloaded, be necessary to be downloaded for it to play correctly.
Yeah.
But whatever, I'm not Mark Cerny.
Yeah, going back to the whether to download a patch for PS5 or not is, if they're planning that ahead, I'm not sure why they wouldn't just put it all on the disc, aside from the day one patch standard stuff. But like, have both those. It's basically alternate settings. Like, do you want the alternate, the highest setting version? You put it in your PS5. If you want like the base experience, you put it in PS4 because it's going to be throttled regardless because they have to spec for both systems.
Well, aren't they saying the PS5 is supposed to be like 8K or something ridiculous?
Capable of 8K.
It will be ready for 8K, I assume. Like,
Well,
they're
and then
future-proofing for it.
If there's a jump in data size like there was from the Xbox 360 to the Xbox One, the amount of data that it could take, they might just be like, well, you know, it's going to take 3 times longer if we're going to put both of them on it. So we'll only put one.
I'm
PS4,
assuming
PS5.
they're not. I don't think they're going to have 8K out of the box because that's just not here yet. I think what they're going to do is the 8K will be the X enhancement equivalent if and when that eventually gets here. My understanding of 8K is it's mostly for theaters, but they're like trying to market it to consumers as a high-end thing. But you really only can actually get the full experience in a movie theater, and that's what they're making it for. So
I think I read something too that they said that today was the first day Sony revealed their first 8K television, and it's like $12,000.
Yeah, so not there yet.
Yeah. Then again, 4K was like this, years
Yeah.
ago when they were first announcing 4K televisions, and now you can get a 4K TV for $200, like a 50-inch for like $200. So
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not saying 8K is dumb and they should never do it. I'm just saying it's a ways out from being mainstream, and it might not even get there. Just because, from what I understand, I could be completely wrong. It's more of a theater spec.
There's all kind of videos out there right now, but yeah, it's a way to combat screen size, right?
Yeah.
Once your screen size gets so huge, you need to have a way to compensate for that. But
but like for consumer level size televisions, 8K is kind of pointless.
Yeah. Yes.
So I would assume out of the box, PS5 will be spec'd for ideally 1080p, or like for the majority to be 1080p, and for people with 4K to be able to do 4K. Like, that'll be the best experience out of the box is 4K. And when it gets there, if it gets there, games will be
4K 60 frames per second versus 8K 30 frames per second.
I wouldn't be surprised. I'm really hoping they're going for 4K 60, because the fact that 60 isn't the standard now still baffles me.
One of the other rumors I remember hearing about it was that the Sony might be taking $100 hit with every console sold to get it out there or something like that too, for the price, to have it as a decent price where they eat $100 per console sold, which they've done before. But
yeah,
well, when they're in the lead, they can also afford to do that too, I think.
Well, the theory behind it too is within 2 years they wouldn't be eating that loss anymore, per console sold, because how fast they make revisions, things change, so your pricing gets better over even a year. Basically, you're not eating so much of a loss.
Yeah,
just how fast technology changes. So
I just want faster loading times.
that was one of the
wait 5 minutes
from that weird thing that they're talking about.
Yeah, they're talking about just a few seconds compared to a couple minutes, but
like 0.8 of a second. They were using the fast travel from Spider-Man as an example. Like, it would normally take something like 18 seconds, but on the new one it would be like 0.8 of a second.
I'm gonna miss that clip of Spider-Man riding on a subway.
But how long is that actually going to last? Because once they actually start making the texture quality and everything else larger, you're going to be in the same boat.
Yeah.
It's going to take you longer.
They'll design to deal with what people will allow as a permissible load time.
Yeah, and like that could just be for like current generation stuff. Like next gen might be like 5 seconds. That might be what they're aiming for, and I'm hoping it is.
It was a big
10,
boost.
20 plus.
It was a big boost. I remember at least firing up my PS4 for the first time last time compared to the PS3, where I was like, "Wow, this is fast. It's moving around." So
a lot of things are faster than the PS3. Most things are faster than PS3.
Yeah.
The PS2 is faster than the PS3.
I just know it's always a chore to go to the store on the PS3.
It's hard to go to the store on any Sony platform. It's broken.
PS4 is pretty simple with how it gets to go to the store. PS3 is always like, oh, there's an update, and then it's like an hour update. You're like, God damn.
Yeah.
I just wanted to look at your sale.
Maybe saying it's broken is a bit harsh, but like it's not where it should be. Most of the time, like you can get by. It's not like gonna crash on you, but still, they really need to revamp PSN somehow.
You know who needs to do it more? It's Nintendo. Their store is awful on the Switch. The Wii U one isn't that bad. It's actually pretty good. But the Switch one, it seems like they're just like, we'll get to this eventually. And it's
Actually, you know what?
It's been like there for like 3 years now.
Actually, you know what? The Switch store isn't
uses
too bad.
the internet.
It's feature bare, but in terms of running and getting the stuff you need to get to, it's pretty good actually.
I don't find navigating through it very easy. I find it kind of just plopped everything in there, and you just gotta like search
for it, or
I don't know. Search, I guess, is a word, but sift through it.
Yeah. Like the UI isn't great, but I'm saying functionally it works.
Mm.
Like it's not crashing, stuff's not glitching out. It is a functional store. The UI just isn't the best.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know.
I need to decide in the next couple days whether I'm actually getting Days Gone or not, because I still have that pre-order active on it. I'm just still not sold on it.
Then why not? Where are you gonna get it if you're still not sold?
Well, I don't want to lose my pre-order discount if I do end up wanting to get it. At worst, I can just return the thing. But I just need to actually look up some deeper gameplay. I've only seen a couple trailers for it. I pre-ordered it years ago, just on one of the E3 sales, just to lock in that price. I haven't put any money down yet. I just need to actually make the decision whether to let it go through or cancel it.
But, I do want to play it. I'm interested in seeing the reviews for it, but that is definitely a down the road game for me, because I still got stuff I want to play, and you know, I heard the rumors about some of the Mortal Kombat getting leaked. The DLC characters getting leaked today too, because people already did mine the Switch version because it had the leak.
They did.
Like the Terminator was supposed to be in it. Ash from Evil Dead is supposed to be in it. Maybe we'll pull up a couple more. But I was like, all right, well, you got my interest already. I saw Michael be the Game Genie's post because he bought the Switch version this morning, then quickly returned it for the PS4 version because it really did not look good on the on the Switch.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Like, what were you expecting? They weren't even showing footage of it.
He said his pictures were like it was basically like the texture was terrible. So
the head, I saw the one with the hair. Looked really bad. Well, I may have made a mistake taking apart this PS3 controller.
Uh-oh. You can't get the bottom parts back in?
I can't get the triggers back. See, so the triggers have these little tabs.
Yep.
that need to fit inside of here, and
Yep.
there's 2 different pads here that it needs to get under, and I can't get it.
There's a gimmick to it, if I remember correctly.
Wonderful.
No, I think you put those through the bottom first, and then you go to the top. The bottom part, the bottom.
You put them into here, yeah. But I can't. So I have to get this little plastic piece here, that piece, which has 2 different points, and it has a hole for this little. There's a little nubbin right here. You're not seeing that very well. Anyway.
Do you put those in separately? Like, do you take that off, fit it in, and then put that back on? Is that a thing?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. Like, it seems like it fits into this and then it snaps in. The problem is it's like it's not like I can plug it into this. Maybe this was dumb. This was dumb.
Just watch the YouTube video. There's tons of them on how to clean them and take apart, put it back your controllers.
They were not designed for normal people to take apart and put back together.
Okay, let's just put these over here.
Yeah, that's a later problem.
Yes.
Keep all the bits together.
We'll let future Musty deal with this. In the meanwhile, I have another PS3 controller.
That's good.
I was just using that one because it didn't have vibration, so I didn't need it because it's a 6-axis one.
You can get a new one for less than $20 on eBay right now.
Well, if I do that, I might as well just get a better PC controller. But I wanted the feel of a PS3 or of a DualShock while I play FF8. So.
Use a PS4 controller.
No, I can't. I can't, and here's why. I need the select button. And using the share button for that is no bueno.
What about the touchpad?
I don't know if I could map the touchpad in place of it. That's a good question.
They usually do. From what I'm aware of, they usually do that for the select.
I could try that. Let me go see this other controller before I go doing that.
Oh, he's gonna run 2 perfectly good controllers.
No. I'm just gonna try plugging in my other one and see if that works better.
Looking at prices because I was eyeing PlayStation 3 controllers before because one of them, I think my D-pad stopped working on one of them, so I kind of wanted to get another one just as 2 controllers. I like having 2 controllers per console. I still haven't done that for my Xbox, but I have plenty of rechargeable batteries that I just keep swapping out. So.
Gotta keep an eye out for Target clearances.
You got yours at Target?
Third-party controllers for $20 or less.
Still?
A mini one, and like this one, I think was $20-25. I use it for the PC and not the Xbox, but I could use it for the Xbox.
I like that third-party controllers still actively try to look as cheap as possible. Like, it's not even that it's like bad quality parts. It's they design it to look like crap for whatever reason. It's like legally mandated that they make it look as bad as possible.
It very well could be about you can make controllers for our system, but you got to make them look like you hired somebody off the street to design it.
Yeah, it's got to be green and have triggers on it. Very specific controller joke there. Anyway.
Oh, sweet. I think it's working.
That's good.
I'll find out real quick if it does.
Hey, Bill in the chat. Troy is broadcasting from his garage.
60s movie.
Get used to it. I'm gonna be down here crafting all night long. I just based this one. I don't know if you can see that.
What is
gonna
that
look like-
from?
Well, I'm making it for Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay. I want to get the Reaper meat.
My other channel is second edition Dungeons and Dragons.
And beer.
I have 23 subscribers. But one of them might be my mom. I don't know. And half of them are probably other Cartridge Club members that don't even watch it anyways. They just sub to be nice.
That's nice of them.
But I've been finding more stuff for that. I have in video game land, man. There's nothing out there video game wise. Too many sharks in the water.
Mm-hmm.
And they got my number. They got my number big time in the thrift shops now. These guys show up like right before. They know when I get done work. Like right when they know exactly when I'm going to show up. And they're there before me every time. And then at the other value village, there's this guy who just sits there all day. So
I hear you.
can't beat him. He's there. He's got a cartload before you can even get there.
Situation resolved on the PS3 controller.
Yay.
In that I will be able to play without having to repair this other one urgently.
Boom.
All right.
Store squatters.
Now, on the other hand, I did find something really cool video game wise today. I know you probably aren't ready for the pickups version of it, but I don't have it out here in the garage, so I'm not going upstairs to get it. But yeah, I picked up a Sega Master System,
Ooh.
and it had the phaser and I think it's called phaser, and the two controllers, but no power supply because, of course, no matter what Master System I find, never has a power supply. And then and no AV cord, but yeah, so it had two controllers, the what do we call it, phaser, and Shanghai is one of the games, and then the other one was a copy of Wonder Boy in Monsterland. Yeah, but that one didn't have it has a case, but it doesn't have a manual or a front cover to the case, so it's just like a blank black empty case. Yeah. And that was $35, and I used $5 off, so I ended up getting it for like $33 with tax all in.
Nice.
Pretty
Shanghai
good.
is just like a mahjong. It's surprisingly fun though.
Yeah. I didn't have it, so I mean, I'm gonna add it to the collection. I do have Monster Boy Wonder Boy in Monsterland already, so that's all good.
And for pickups this week, all I got was that Star Wars book, Master and Apprentice, that I mentioned last week, not arriving on the right day.
Usually when you say that, it arrives like the next day, right?
Yeah, it did. Even though it came out on Tuesday, it didn't arrive until Wednesday. Which, I as I'm saying, is a very minor complaint. It just wasn't good timing for the Hangout.
Yeah.
Everyone else have stuff?
I don't have anything this week.
I
I
got
think
two.
my ability to pick things up is going to be like all my stuff, all my funding between now and C3 is going toward bringing it to too many games. So
And I haven't opened my retro game treasure box, so I don't know what I've got yet.
Yeah, I still got to go
Great.
through and go through all my doubles and post it there so people know what's what. But it's going to be kind of a first come first serve master plan because I'm bringing a carry on, so I can't carry a bunch of stuff. So
Yeah.
whoever gets to it first gets the pick, and whatever doesn't fit in the bag, you're out of luck.
Should just do a trade thread in the forums.
Yeah, I know. I gotta go through and figure out everything I got because I still haven't sat down after Barry and figured it out, like what's left.
Yeah, I need to recollect myself. Wait, did I show those last week? I think I showed those, didn't I?
Showed what?
What day did that come? See, I've had 3 streams between. I don't think I showed these. Actually, I do have something. Haha! So one of the things that I put on my list, and if you guys have heard this story already, then that's totally fine. We can totally skip it. One of the things that was on my wants list for MGC was Super Famicom Final Fantasy games.
Right.
So I was looking, and there was this one guy who I walked up because of that figure, that Renoa figure that I have back here. I was like, "Oh, that figure, this one." Boom. And I walked up, and he's like, "Musty Hobbit." I'm like, "Hi." He's like, "Oh man, you didn't get here fast enough. I had the Final Fantasy games for you, but somebody came and bought them." And I was just like, "Oh no, that's really unfortunate." And I actually used it as leverage to get him to come down on price for that. But in that moment, he actually still had one on the table, and it was Final Fantasy V, and he had a price tag of $35 on it, which is nuts. And so in that moment, I knew that I had this listing on eBay that I had been waiting and waiting and waiting on, and it was going to be that if I don't find it, I'll pull the trigger. And so I did. And in that, I'll just show that, but you don't know what those are. Those are the stickers from the store, which I now need to find a way to take off. But and these are all complete. 2 of them are missing like the bags around the cartridges. But we have, it's even better backwards. Hold on a second. Toolbox. I'm going to reverse my reversed. There we go. Okay. First one, Mystic Quest. Which, if you remember my old logo
Musty's Quest.
for Musty's Quest, looks a lot like that. Final Fantasy IV.
Nice.
Final Fantasy V. And Final Fantasy VI.
Excellent.
Yeah, and they're all in very good shape. This one has a little bit of discoloration on the manual. So when I got them, this was a listing. And I didn't know this at the time that I bought them, but it was a listing where he's like, I had multiple. Like, he had multiple lots of all 4. And it didn't indicate that in the listing. So when I got them, the picture I got, like Final Fantasy IV, didn't have this. There's a little bit of a stain, like right there. Like, it didn't have that. And then 6, like I said, had some discoloration, like yellowing on the cartridge and the manual itself. So I messaged him, and I'm like, "This isn't what was in that picture." And he like apologized and said that they were, he was selling more than one of them. So, one of the lots had that. He'd be willing to swap them out for me. I would have to send back the ones that I wanted to have replaced, and then he would replace them for me. And in my head, I was like, you know what?
Do it.
Well, in my mind, I was like, you know what? I'd rather just leverage him for some money here.
Do it.
And so I told him, hey, you know what? I can live with it, can you cut me some? Can you give me a minor refund so that you don't have to pay for shipping these back to you and then back to me? And so he did. He gave me a little bit of money back, which worked. So I ended up getting a much better deal than I would have if I had to buy them from that tape. I would have felt like almost obligated at that point, right? Like that is almost where the first time that my "here's what I want" video would have backfired in my face. Because I would have felt really bad if that guy had been like, "Oh, I had them under the table for you, so here they are, and they're $35 a piece." I would have been like, I would have shown him this listing probably and been like, "Look, man, like,
meet me here.
Like, you got to meet me under this because I can not have to transport these myself and just and then it would have been half the cost." So, but yeah, I'm still looking. I actually I was talking with Dean about it, and I pinged Richard to see if he can keep an eye out for me. But yeah, I need to because I still want 1, 2, and 3, and the one that has 1 and 2, because there's 4 of them, and Chrono Trigger. I want a copy of Chrono Trigger Famicom, Super Famicom one. But yeah, so hopefully he can find something for me. Dean seemed to think that they were, at every like corner store. there's in-box Famicom games over there in Japan. I'm probably exaggerating, but see, Steven, I don't know much about Bahamut Lagoon. I know that I see it bundled with Square games quite often, probably because it's a Square game. But right now, I just pinged him about the Famicom ones and Chrono Trigger. Steven says it's accurate. Okay.
The complete in box Famicom and Super Famicom games thing, that actually is fairly common because people in Japan took better care of their stuff because it was illegal to rent games.
Oh, really? Okay.
You don't have. I believe that's the case. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Or they just didn't have a rental scene?
Yeah, I think it was illegal at a certain point. Like they had like these not arcade, but like console units specifically for hotels, I believe. Okay. And that was like the only way you could really play it other than arcade or at home. So that's why people took better care of their stuff, kept all the stuff together. It was less disposable, and you didn't have the people renting it and beating the copies up. So I believe that's the reason for that.
Gotcha.
Hey, Eric in the chat. By the way, I've just got my video and everything off because I'm eating quickly.
I can show the 2 things I got this week.
Okie dokie.
So one of them is this month's portable game of the month. I looked at MGC. Must have found it loose. Mm-hmm. Right here. I bought Thor. God of Thunder for the DS. But now I remember you mentioned this like 2+ years ago about this game, to look for this game, and it was cheap.
Yeah, I'm the one that suggested it for portable. It's been a while.
so I've been looking for probably since you mentioned it, because it's always been cheap. It's always been around that $10 to $15 price range. I just never see it. I never see it. If I do, it's loose, and for that price, I'd rather just pay that couple extra bucks and buy it complete.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it loose one time at a GameStop. And I'm like, maybe I'll find it at a convention or a store. Because I go to the Portland every year, it seems like, and Midwest, and some shows around here too, but just never find it. And eventually I just gave in and paid $13 on eBay for it, brand new. I mean, I broke the seal on it because I've been playing it, but yeah, it's in my 3DS at the moment. But so yeah, that came in. And this is another eBay purchase. I talked the guy down. There's one guy selling it. He had a listing, and the previous listing, I believe, said it sold for $14. And there's one guy selling this on eBay listed at $50. And I said to him, I was like, hey, I am interested in this, but now, granted, you're the only one selling this at the moment, but if you look on price charting, it says the last time it sold for $14. Would you take 20 for this? And I think he said, well, if you include shipping, which came to about $23 or $22, I would do it. So I'm like, okay. So, I got it. I got the Manuel for Final Fight CD. So now I just need the box to complete the CD in this. So, but yeah, it's got another step closer to completing that, because I've been doing a lot of that on eBay right now, where I've just been looking for box and manual for games I own on the Genesis. I'm just trying to complete some games that aren't complete for me right now. But other than that, yeah, that's what I got this week.
Nice. How are you liking Thor?
It's good. It's pretty impressive for what it is. I just got done with the third boss today. The ice. It's kind of like he swallows you and you have to like smash his heart inside his body with the.
Yeah.
That was a cool battle.
Yeah, those boss fights are pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
I got lucky at the time when I got that, and found it at a store that just what?
I was saying, it's good because it's got the Sega logo right there on it.
Sure. Anyway, it's yeah, I got it for $5, I think, before tax, because the store had it in since it came out, and it had just been so long that they didn't have a price on file anymore. So I was like, $5, and I'm like, sure, because it was taking like 15 minutes and no one could find anything on the thing. So I was like, can I just give you $5 and we can call it a day? And they're like, yes. So that was lucky for me. Yeah, I'm glad people are playing that now.
It's a good one. I almost wonder if it's I remember they said one reason why Captain America for the PS3 and maybe the 360 or they're in that $30 price range. Is these licensed games aren't heavy print runs because I think they realized that most of them were bad and they don't sell well, or at least people caught on over the years that these weren't very good games. So I almost wonder if it's just like I said, I've looked a lot of places and I just can't. I never see it show up anywhere. That it's maybe just not a super high print run game.
Yeah, just like cheap but uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
But I can understand that for those, especially at that time, because they were still making like different versions of the game for each individual console. So I would understand if they were like, these don't do that extremely well, at least not for very long, because they get review bombed, rightfully so most of the time.
This one was made by Way Forward too.
Yeah, but like I can understand them doing less for each individual version. Like they have to do 360, PS3, 3DS, DS in some cases, Wii, all that. And it's like I can understand just maybe cutting the print run on all of them to save a little money across the board.
Mini Ninjas.
Eh?
Mini Ninjas has like four different versions, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Another odd Way Forward licensed game is one of the later Transformers games, because it's actually no, I think it's Rise of the Dark Spark, wherever the hell that third one that wasn't made by High Noon Studios was, or High Moon Studios. High Noon Studios would be a completely different developer. Anyway,
it's High Noon.
Yep. But yeah, I think it was Rise of the Dark Spark, but they made a 3DS version of that, which was a strategy RPG. So drastically different from the main game. It was an odd choice, like a tactical turn-based grid RPG for Transformers. Yeah, Steven's like Advanced Wars style. That is a quicker way to say it, for sure.
Like Fire Emblem-ish. Sorry.
Yes, I took a big bite of food right before you asked.
Fine, you brought up Thor, and I decided to pick it up and start playing it myself. So
It's a good one.
it is.
I
Speaking
like
of that, who's seeing Endgame on Thursday, and who's seeing it on Friday?
Me.
Friday.
Friday.
Thursday.
I don't know when I'm going to see it.
So I'm gonna spoil it for you.
And you? And you?
And you.
Hopefully by Monday I'll have seen it.
And you.
So you know,
one
they
thing-
I still haven't seen Captain Marvel.
it's pretty much leaked online a bunch of information. I've pretty much been avoiding anything.
from my understanding, some guy released a clip where it's got a couple minutes of the beginning, a couple parts of the middle, and a couple minutes of the climax at the end. And I'm like, what the hell?
Somebody wanted some.
Why
clip.
would you do that? Like,
And I think something was spoiled for me because I was watching someone talk about books that spiked this week, and they didn't say why, but they're like, we can only suspect the main reason why is because of this cover. They're like, this was a $1 book and it's jumped up to this price, and we only reason why is we suspect it's because this scene happens. And I'm like, God damn it, why'd you have to say that? Because now I kind of feel as if that's probably in the climax scene is on this one cover for this book. I'm like, that was, I can't confirm it, and if I see the movie, I will know for sure that was a spoiler, because I kind of feel as if it was. So.
And as we know, comic book speculators are never wrong.
Well, I imagine someone watched the clip, because I said, from my understanding, it was a pretty important part of the climax that happens. And then as soon as I heard that last week when I went to go pick up my books, because one of the guys who's normally there picking up his books at the same time, he writes for a website, and he was telling me that he was flying out. He had a viewing at 10 a.m. this morning to see it in New York. And he said he couldn't say what theater, they put a thing saying, please don't tell anyone, share. He was telling me, he's like, well, I don't know why they were asking that. And I'm like, it's probably because they don't want people like me waiting outside the door, trying to sneak into the movie or something like that. So, because he's got to write a review for the website. So he got flown up to New York and he said he'd fly right back after seeing it. And then he was seeing it with his wife on Thursday. But no, I was just like, he was the one who was telling me, he's like, he read the description. He didn't read what happens, but he was reading what, like there's 5 minutes. There's a 5 minute footage. I'm sure you can find it on Reddit if you really want to see it, which I don't. I've muted like every single possible Avenger word on Twitter right now. But he was saying it's beginning, middle, and climax, and it's important part at the end too. I'm like, and as soon as I heard that, and then I saw them talk about that, their speculation. I'm like, God damn it! If that was someone who watched the clip and everything, it's cool, but I really wish I didn't know. So, and I'll find out in 2 days. By this point, I got about 30 minutes left to go in the movie.
so you're within 48 hours of watching that movie?
8:10 is my viewing. Central.
Mine's at 7:55.
So you'll be.
So I'll be done with it 15 minutes before you then.
It depends on who has more previews, though.
I have a feeling they'd run the same. Oh, I suppose theaters could add their own stingers and stuff like that. Other than
Yeah.
Do you have a brand theater in your area, Musty?
No, we are Marcus.
Okay, yeah, because I got Marcus too. Marcus is most of the Midwest, I believe.
Yeah.
So yeah, you'll get Mr. Marcus talking.
Yeah, that goofy dude.
Popcorn,
Yeah, and his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Lately, that's how those have ended.
I'm gonna go hit up the dollar store before the show and get all my candies.
They hit the Target.
The turkey.
Yeah, that's got
Be
all
careful. There's no intermission. It's 3 hours.
That's so. Hold on. Let me close my DS for a second.
Don't be
Why are we asking for an intermission on a 3-hour movie?
I don't want an intermission.
I don't either. What is that garbage? Come on.
Is there something actually online where people want an intermission?
No, there are people who are like, "There's no good time to go pee." It's like, go pee before the movie.
before the movie.
I didn't know that.
That's the perfect time.
Yeah.
I heard someone saying that,
There's
like,
before the movie and
I
after
go to
the
the
movie.
bathroom a lot. I saw those complaints that people are like, I go to the bathroom a lot. I'm like, well, don't drink like a camel, just
Plan ahead.
Yeah.
Where it depends. Like, just if you have to.
get yourself a super cup, and once you empty it, you whiz in it, right? There you go. The theater's dark. You just fill that cup right back up. You just don't drink out of it again.
Just do it during a loud section of the movie.
That's right. Lots of booms going on here.
But yeah, it's just like, come on. Like, what really?
Oh my word! I didn't really know that. I didn't know that was a.
Nobody made these complaints during Blade Runner 2049, right? Like,
to be fair, no one went to see that movie.
I did.
I
did. And I didn't have to pee in the middle of the movie.
Nothing to do with the reviews, just no one saw it.
I thought, isn't There Will Be Blood's almost 4 hours long? I know I saw it in the theater and nobody got up. That was almost 4 hours long.
Right. It's because all they drank were milkshakes.
That's right. But no, it's I heard the complaints, and I'm just like, it's pretty simple. You just don't drink liquids a couple hours before the movie, and you go pee before you see the movie.
Have you ever had surgery before? You know how they tell you not to eat or drink anything?
One thing is, I heard someone talk to, they're like, I'm gonna have my soda before the movie, and I'm going to get a refill before it starts. And I'm like, well, that's your dumb fault then. You plan accordingly. I usually don't have a sip until the movie starts. So.
Okay. Apologies. My frustrations on people who.
No, I hear you.
I mean, Infinity War was 2.5 hours. What's the difference?
Half hour longer.
Yeah.
Return of the King was 4 hours and 15 minutes at least.
What, extended?
Extended is another half hour. Yeah, I think.
Like, if they were showing like the extended edition of Red Cliff, I would understand, because that's like 288 minutes long. It's like they cut this movie into 2 to show it in theaters.
Sure. I mean, there was a time
familiar,
and a place. Like Lawrence of Arabia is a long movie, right? Like, how long is Return of the King exactly? I want to make sure.
I mean,
right.
What was it, like 5 minutes of dark and music at the beginning of Lawrence of Arabia? If they cut
Return of
those
the
out,
King is 263.
I believe Deer Hunter's like 4 hours and 6 minutes long.
and I really only had to go at the end of that movie.
But you have to keep in mind, you go in there, then they show you like probably 3 hours of commercials.
Please don't.
3 minutes, 3 hours, same thing.
It feels like it.
Yeah.
It's got to be at least a good 20 minutes of it.
I mean, to be fair, they don't tell you to turn your phone off until after the ads are finished.
Get many ads before when the trailers start anymore. I think most of the ads play before the trailers start for at least my theaters, and then
they're just running. I've had a few where it's like a car ad or a. There's been a couple.
Yeah, car ads and trailers and reminders to turn off your cell phone and trivia, and it takes forever.
The trivia stuff though is just running while you're waiting for the movie to, like, while you're waiting for your actual like time to start though. Like
while people are like entering the theater.
Matthew Perry.
That's right. We answered so fast it was scary. Nice.
Glad you caught the reference.
Oh yeah. I love me some good old digital shorts.
Are you coming up to Summerfest, Musty, for the Lonely Island at
I didn't know they were going to be there.
On one of the free stages.
Oh.
I don't think they ever toured. So that's why I'm like, I got to go see them. And they're like on a Friday or something.
Yeah, we haven't. I hadn't looked at the schedule, but I think the next time I think they were planning on coming out here in like August. So they, as in my sister and her husband and family.
Children. Children. Anyways, though, I'm excited for Thursday.
I don't think any of us have said hey to Eric yet. Sorry about that.
The chat. He's stay muted.
Yeah.
Nope.
Hello.
You said hi. I heard you.
No, I said hi when you were in the chat. I just
Yeah. I heard that.
you joined.
Hello.
Are you all caught up with your Marvel movies, Eric?
I've seen them all at least once. So we are still going through the revisit, but I saw Captain Marvel 2 weeks ago.
How essential do you think that is to see before seeing Endgame?
Not very, I would say.
It's kind of hard to tell until we've seen Endgame, right?
Fair enough. You can let me know.
I would say Infinity War is more important.
Obviously. But I just mean for context.
I mean, I think you have a base knowledge of who Captain Marvel is and her general abilities. So
yeah, it's more like Nick Fury stuff and just like how they're setting up her for this universe. Like I don't know what they've changed. And
since you've seen Infinity, you could look up the post-credit scene.
There's no Miss Marvel at all reference. She does not become Miss Marvel then Captain Marvel in this movie. Slight spoiler, but if that's what you're hoping for.
No.
You just go straight
I don't think anyone was hoping for that. Except people who are really obsessed about that old costume.
Cosplayers.
But yeah, like everyone knows her as Captain Marvel now. She went through like 5 different names before taking up the Captain Marvel mantle. It was like Ms. Marvel, obviously. It was Ms. Marvel, obviously, then Warbird, then Binary. I don't know if this was a joke or not, but someone said she was Captain Whizbang at one point.
Captain Whizbang?
Yeah, I'm not kidding. But that could have been a joke in this video I was watching.
Well, it made me laugh.
I mean, there was a character, not in the Marvel or DC comics, but there was a character named Captain Marbles.
Captain Marbles? Nice.
Yep. Different publisher entirely, but actually I think that was a parody in a magazine. I'm just going to go on the Wikipedia and look at her like alternate aliases. I need to know if that's real or not.
Yeah, I don't know that you necessarily need her origin story.
I wouldn't think so.
Yeah.
For what it's worth, she didn't know her origin story before she did this movie either.
Yeah.
And they made a point of, they were talking about, there was some interview about how she had to do Endgame before her standalone. Like all of her scenes from Endgame had already been done before anything in her own movie.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Captain Whizbang thing was a joke. Which was my suspicion. I just still wanted to say it because it was funny. That's from the Captain Marvel versus Shazam Death Battle on the Death Battle channel, if anyone wants to watch that.
Captain Marvel versus Capcom?
Huh. Well, it's Captain Marvel versus Captain Marvel if you want to get technical about it.
Oh, yeah. No, I was making a video game joke.
Yeah. I got it. I just had to make it worse.
Thus implying mine was bad in the first place, so we're good.
I'm morally obligated to...
Yeah, I'll probably just see. I'll probably just see Endgame. I don't think Captain Marvel needs my help to do well at this point. The only movie that I regret from the last little while of not seeing in the theater is Battle Angel Alita. Or Alita Battle Angel, as they called it in the movie. Just flip that title around slightly for whatever reason.
Did anybody see it?
I would suspect
The
no.
trailer looked terrible to me, so no.
If it was the first trailer, then yeah, a little bit. They changed the eyes a little bit. But I've heard nothing but good things about like the actual adaptation of it. So that's the only one that was around that same time as like Aquaman and Into the Spider-Verse and Bumblebee. What?
I still want to see Bumblebee.
Bumblebee is very good.
Yeah, I've been trying to find a time to have the kid watch that, but we haven't gotten to it.
The first few minutes of Bumblebee is almost worth it.
Oh yes.
Okay.
This isn't a spoiler. This is just something that that's for me because I like Wheeljack. That is the most screen time we've gotten an actual Wheeljack in a film where he doesn't fucking die.
Until later.
Not in this movie.
I've never seen it. I was just
but like in the original '86 movie, he just like only appears on screen as a corpse for like 2 seconds.
Well,
that was the screen time preview.
Almost all of them. Time to make new toys, so let's kill everybody off.
Yeah, I find it hilarious that they didn't
traumatize all the kids.
They didn't know that was going to be an issue for kids. Like, I'm gonna kill all your toys. It's gonna be fine. No, that was like unintentional, apparently.
Well, at least they didn't kill the Dinobots.
No.
The Thor game is good though.
You can like
Eric,
juggle people
guys...
in the air and everything too in that game.
I did manage to pick somebody. Oh, there, I just did it.
It's not like the best of their games, but it's pretty good, especially for a movie license game.
I love the animation. Like the sprite work is great.
And same guy that did the soundtrack for like Shovel Knight and all that.
Kaufman.
Yeah.
Jake Kaufman.
Yeah, there we go.
And he did all the Shantae music too.
I think the boss fights are inspired by Contra 4, but I'm not sure because I've never played that.
That would make sense.
So is Thor just an action game, or is it more of a Metroidvania?
It's a beat 'em up.
Yeah, it's like the Thor game you would have got on the Super Nintendo. Except with dual screens, so you have like the really tall, like 2-screen high boss fights.
Yeah. I watched.
So you can throw the hammer up to the top screen and then it comes back. Like,
yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah. Or you can launch yourself and then do like a ground pound from the top screen to the bottom screen.
Or unleash thunder.
I don't find myself using the god powers that much.
I do it because I realize it's full screen and it just clears off a screen for me. So
yeah, it's kind of a Super Castlevania 4 situation where it's like you've got a whole bunch of options, but your bare set of abilities is pretty much good enough most of the time.
Did you guys ever talk about the Genesis Mini?
Probably a little.
They added more games.
They've only just announced, what was it, 20 of them?
Yeah, they're good games.
20, but that 20 is
the 20 is awesome.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm certainly intrigued.
Yeah. Why is
I'm really hoping for some TMNT Hyperstone Heist.
Oh yes, that would get me to buy it.
Oh, I'm gonna buy it anyways, but
yeah, like certain games are there that will just make me buy a thing, even if it's not a good idea. Like I am on the fence. I will have to see it in hand and get reviews of it first. But that Capcom Home Arcade, if that's good, I am buying it because AVP.
Yeah, I mean that's
that thing though.
The price on that is tough.
It's crazy. I'm not
the shape of the controller is
Also crazy. Like, that's why I want to see it in hand, because like you couldn't have just made that two things. That would have been much easier to handle. In order to store that, you are going to have to put hooks on your wall to display it like a freaking neon sign.
Steel Battalion.
Huh? Steel Battalion.
It's
Well, which is also Capcom.
Yeah. They haven't learned.
No, they did. People will buy it.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like my logic for it is like I'm not like rushing out the door to spend that kind of money on that thing for one game. But my logic is it's a convenient form factor. There's other good games on it. It's for modern televisions, and it's probably cheaper than tracking down the home arcade cabinet.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I can bet you trying to find the AVP arcade cabinet is probably going to cost a pretty penny.
Yeah, and it's like plus space and upkeep and all that. And it's just like, it's expensive. It sucks that this is the only way to get it, but I've been waiting for this to come out on something for like my entire life. I played that in arcades in the 90s, and I've been waiting since then for a home release of that stupid game. We got action figures before we got a home release of it. So that's my little rant about that, I guess.
So TMNT is the one game on there that isn't on there, that hasn't been announced yet, that would be a system seller for that Genesis. Any other ones that you can think of that you would need?
Just pull up the list here real quick.
Oz, do you have anything? Because nothing's come to mind for me.
That's
It's got Shining Force, Bloodlines, and Gunstar Heroes, Castle and World of Illusion, Landstalker, Streets Fighter 2. I mean, it's pretty nice already.
I was going to say Beyond Oasis is one that comes to mind.
Yeah,
that would be a good addition.
My question is, why are they suddenly so interested in releasing Landstalker on everything? Not that I have anything against the game.
It's on the most recent collection, right?
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like that's the second or third time we've seen Landstalker in a row. It's weird.
It needs the Fantasy Stars, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got Super Fantasy Zone or whatever on it already.
Yeah.
How is that, Eric? You're a Fantasy Zone guy.
That's the one I was going to mention. That's never been released in the U.S. And so I'm interested in that.
Cool.
I'm interested in that mini for that game, maybe alone. I don't know how good it is. It's probably not worth buying an $80 thing for, but the rest of the library is pretty good.
That makes it a physical copy then. It's the first physical release.
I'm just saying, if you're curious, that game has never been released in the U.S., so that's one perk.
There's others. Sorry to go back to the Capcom thing for a second, but there's other games on there that have not had home releases before. So that's interesting. Like that version of 1948 or whatever the hell the game is. That's never been released. And a couple other ones. I won't go on about that anymore. Go ahead. Let's see, were you going to say something?
I was thinking like Beyond Oasis.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a little too obvious. Rocket Knight, maybe.
Sparkster, maybe.
There's already 3 Konami games on here.
Is Decap Attack on there already?
No, it's not.
Like that and like Dynamite Heady, maybe? Like some of the like mascot-ish. I think Sonic 3 is probably not happening, right?
It should be bundled together with Knuckles. It's a complete game.
They've never done that, and it's so weird.
As one, just like we're just giving you all of these as one.
I'm just thinking there's all that stuff over the soundtrack licensing issues, right?
Yeah. Gargoyles would be an interesting get. It's maybe not the best game, but
Gargoyles, okay.
Would that have licensing issues though? And
It's a Disney game.
Oh,
Yeah, but you already have Castle of Illusion and World of Illusion, which are both
Yeah,
Disney
fair
games.
enough.
Aladdin.
Yeah.
Which would be tough in of all years to try and pull the Aladdin license. This is not the year. They should remaster that with Will Smith. Just kidding. That'd probably be a bad idea.
Isn't Alan Tudyk doing the voice of Yago in this movie?
I don't know. Why can't it be Gilbert?
Let's say you have car insurance.
Affleck.
It looks like a pretty good list right now. I'm looking at it right here.
Well, and there's still 20 more games coming, right? Like,
we've gotten Golden Axe 3 before, but that would still be a good addition.
No Golden Axe on here yet.
Are there any Shining Force on there?
The
First one. But Shining in the Darkness would be a nice one to add in.
There's no Fantasy Stars yet for you.
Fantasy Star is on like every other Genesis collection in the world.
Punisher would be nice.
Yeah, that would be cool.
That would be
But
licensing.
yeah, although I was thinking more content, but because Punisher. But
Splatterhouse 2. I get people happy.
Yeah.
Another interesting get licensing wise could be Adventures of Batman and Robin if they could get that. Because that's never been re-released.
Well, if they could work something out with EA, some EA games, Road Rash or one of the Mutant League games.
Yeah.
There's several, but EA doesn't really have much interest in revisiting the past. So,
Yeah.
I'd like to see Revenge of Shinobi. That doesn't make it on too many.
Shinobi 3's on there, the better game.
Shinobi 3 is better, but Revenge of Shinobi is, I think it's only made it on like one collection, and I'm not sure which one, if it was the X360 generation or current gen. But I think they had trouble with it because of the characters.
I'm pulling it up.
Unlicensed stuff. And
It was released on, there's a Wii version release. It was released on the Wii. It was on the classic, whatever they were called, the original network for the Nintendo Wii.
That's long enough ago. They should do another one.
I think the one you might be thinking of, at least in terms of a common one that people have seen, is the Mega Drive 6-pack. There was also a Sega CD collection.
They already have Sonic the Hedgehog and Mean Bean Machine on there.
Yeah, and it was on the Sega Smash Pack for PC and Dreamcast.
The Vector Man.
Yeah.
Okay.
You got your Comic Zone. You got your. There's a Space Harrier on there, right?
Yeah, but that's not really a good Space Harrier game.
It's Space Harrier 2.
Space Harrier 2, that's the worst one, yeah.
The worst.
I like it.
The worst.
oh, Kadash would be a nice one.
The Battletoads would be cool, but that would be interesting now.
Yeah. Amazing Saga Mutant Fighter.
You use Rice Star. That would be a good one.
What about your Mutant Leagues? Mutant League.
Yeah. Hockey or football or both.
Yeah, you couldn't do the NHL ones. There'd be way too many licensing issues, I imagine.
You just do 93. We just put numbers. They didn't have names.
True.
You still have the teams, though.
You still have blood, though.
They'll probably Outrun will probably get on it.
Isn't there already an Outrun on there? I could be wrong. Okay.
Gain Ground would be awesome.
Which one?
Gain Ground.
Yeah.
Good Green Dog.
It's a little more.
But
Surfer dude.
what What about like a Out of This World or a Flashback, or isn't there a Prince of Persia for?
I think so.
I mean, I guess it wasn't really known for those. What about Dune?
It would be cool.
I think a very specific set of people would like that, but not much else.
Or Herzog Zwei. Or
That'd be a good
Zwei.
one.
Crusader of Sente would be an interesting get, just as
Oh,
a
that
just
that'd
as an
be-
That was
uncommon
on
game.
Yeah, I'd buy it straight up.
that'd be a big deal.
Are they
Is Kid
putting
Yeah.
Chameleon on there?
What?
Is Kid Chameleon on there?
Nope.
That would be that's a fun one.
Oh, I enjoy. That's a great game, man. Hard as balls. It's great.
Yeah, it is. I haven't beaten it.
No,
If
I
they
haven't
wanted to
beaten
put
it.
some-
It's too hard.
If they
It's
wanted to
great.
put something just awful and really weird to play now, on their Cybercop.
I don't think I ever played that one.
It is a weird game.
First person is like when we were doing those like guess the game screenshot challenges on the forums, I posted something from the opening of that game and no one got it. It was like months of like, what in the hell is this game? I think I just put a pretty long hold on that entire endeavor, which was probably a little bad.
Are you guys familiar with Dungeons and Dragons Warriors of the Eternal Sun?
Yeah, I love that game. That's one of my favorites.
Is that one of the ones that's in that 360 little re-release?
No, I don't think so.
Is it a beat 'em up or is that like a tactical type?
More like a tactical RPG.
Okay, now then.
Because you've got your squad, you got your group or party, and there's overworld and there's in dungeons. It's like dungeon
And-
crawling.
Yeah, in the dungeon, you're like first person view.
It's really fun. It's fun
Oh, yeah.
playing with 4 wizards. It's tough, but once you get them leveled up, then it's just a cakewalk.
How many of us are just scrolling through the list of Genesis games on Wikipedia?
Not I.
Not on Wikipedia, but what about Starflight?
I don't even know what Starflight is.
Oh, Starflight is awesome. It was an
Or
inspiration
Desert
for Mass Effect.
Like Desert Strike.
Desert Strike,
Urban
was,
Strike. Are they on
Desert
there?
Strike was the first game I got, the Genesis.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones I played, man. I love that game. That Kid Chameleon.
Steven has dubbed this the Name Genesis Games segment.
And
I mean, that's how YouTube videos get made, right?
Shining Force is the first one I like faked a day of being sick just so I could stay home because I rented it. Faked being sick, stayed home, played it, beat it.
Rings of Power would be an interesting one, but I think that's EA also.
I don't even know that one. I'd have to check that out.
That one's kind of weird because you got a 3/4 overhead view for the world, and the fights are weird. Your characters move around on the screen, and so you can actually miss. And I mean, I don't know how you do it without a manual because the manual is that thick.
Wow. Would have taken me my teenage years to read all that before I could play it.
And it's an EA game, so. But 8 meg is the save.
But Shadowrun,
Mm-hmm.
Their unique version of King of the Fighters, not King of the Fighters, King of the Monsters too. This
do
is
they
more
have
of
any
a-
beat 'em ups on that original list? I haven't even looked at it yet.
The Genesis version is like more of a wrestling one-on-one thing.
Hmm.
Even though the other two versions are beat 'em ups, which I had no idea about until On the Stick did a video about that. The same name, different game.
We met him at Midwest like 2 years ago.
No, that's a.
Nice.
Did we meet them both?
Yeah.
I know we met Game versus Game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh wait, no, he did his panel with the other guy, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Gotcha.
Lost Vikings.
Oh yeah, that's a great game. The Super Nintendo one's better though.
Yeah. Better than no release whatsoever.
True.
Death and Return of Superman.
That's not happening. I like that game, but it does not deserve a spot on that system.
X-Men 2.
Yes. Mostly just because it's never, like, none of those have been really released again. But that's an interesting kind of game.
And
All right,
how long do you
gentlemen.
think it'll be before
I'm gonna-
somebody hacks it and the whole library's on the thing?
Yep.
Guys, I'm gonna get out for the night.
Okay.
Just dragging today, so I'm just gonna lay down for the night. So I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah,
I
so
gotta bounce out of here too. It's freezing cold in this garage right now.
Mm.
And I can't paint anymore because everything's wet. So you
Yeah.
can see my progress.
Nice.
Yeah, it's getting there. That's his base coat, but man, these guys are just primed, but I got their bases ready. This guy's getting ready for, he's going to be an ice golem or something to that effect. And then this guy will be fire when I get there. Nerd. That's it. I am 40 years old, but I'm not a virgin. And that's it. That's my sign out. I'll see you guys later.
Right.
not one that would ever go on that set, but I think an interesting Genesis game is that McDonald's Treasure Land Adventure.
I'm not familiar with that one.
It's not it's not an amazing game, and it's pretty short, but it's a McDonald's game made by Treasure. And the weirdest part is that's the only one of the McDonald's games that no one talks about, and it's probably the best one.
I haven't played any of the McDonald's games.
Yeah, like people talk about Mick and Mac and
The Global
Mick and Mac.
Gladiator.
yeah, like Global Gladiators. Is that Mick and Mac?
Mick Kids is the
Yeah,
NES
Mick
one.
Kids.
But yeah, it's Global Gladiators.
Yeah, like people talk about those all the time, but Treasure Land Adventure gets the short end of the stick despite being made by Treasure. That's the only one you play as Ronald McDonald. But it's got like decent music, it's got good levels, good art design, and everything. It's pretty short. What is that going for now? It's the only. I'll keep it US just because I think I'm the only Canadian here. But holy moly, $60 for a complete edition. 22 loose. The Turrican games, maybe Mega Turrican.
That'd be nice.
X Mutants.
Is that good?
I enjoy it, so I think it's
not,
good.
I'm not familiar with it. I'll have to check it out at some point.
It's just in the vein of like the X-Men games.
Hmm.
But what was it? Imagine characters from the Image comics, I think is what it was.
Ooh, okay. Should we shift away from the naming Genesis games segment? I mean, I'm only down to M. I can keep going, but still.
I've gone through all of them.
Yeah.
Might have missed some, but I wasn't. They weren't alphabetical. I started off with the highest price ones on price charting first.
That'll do it.
Terminator 2, the arcade game.
Oh, if you could use a light gun, absolutely. That game is
Actually, that's something we could talk about. Someone made a Kickstarter for a modern light gun, and it works.
$100, but ooh,
yeah,
it's kind of tempting just because
there's no alternative.
Well, that, and also, I mean, I'm not big in emulators, but if you can emulate, your SNES and Genesis and Master System and Nintendo games and so forth, and play those through the emulator and use the light gun, I think that's pretty nice.
Yeah, I think that's more like targeted towards people that like make their own MAME cabinets, maybe. But like it works like they just put a white border around the screen, and that's the 3D space it tracks the gun light within.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty cool. I mean, of course, you can use like motion controls now, but that's not as prevalent still.
Yeah.
So
And they wanted to specifically have one that you didn't need a sensor bar for.
yeah. I'm surprised more of those haven't, or any of those, haven't really wound up in VR. Like, because I'm stealing this totally from the Re-Res hot take video on it. But like they could literally just make you show you standing in front of an arcade cabinet and turn the like Move controller or whatever controller you have into the gun in the VR setting and have that work. I'm just surprised no one's done that. Even for like things like House of the Dead, it would be an easy sell. It would be interesting to get a game on. Sorry, back to the Genesis for 1 second. It would be interesting to get a game that was like never made for the Genesis on there, like Pure Solar.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That's never going to happen, but that would be an interesting decision.
What about Coffee Crisis? That's a Genesis port, isn't it? Isn't there a Genesis version of that?
I'm not really familiar. I've heard the name though.
Genesis.
I'm gonna get off of this stupid wiki, otherwise I'll keep reading titles off.
Yeah, Coffee Crisis. It was a. It's on Steam, but there is a port to the Genesis as well. It's a beat 'em up, and you play two baristas. Apparently, aliens have shown up. I think Derek and Josh played it on the last stream that we did. If I remember right.
So like it's the start of the story of Duke Nukem if he worked at a Starbucks.
Neo Rogue Brawler. The only baristas on Earth with enough heavy metal in their veins to fend off aliens.
Delightful.
I'd be interested to see it actually run on a Genesis, though. Like, there's some weird stuff that I just don't think would necessarily function. It's wild. Or it's on Steam for $10.
Shift the discussion elsewhere for a minute. What's everyone's thoughts so far on how I've decided to do the links? Because I know, like, for Musty and Eric, I think I put Eric in that Twitter chat. I just linked it there, so it's not much different. But what do you think about the Discord idea?
I mean, I think the Discord idea is fine. I mean, unless you put more information as to what I think, just posting it there is safe enough.
Yeah. I was just curious because there was no activity of any kind until you joined the call.
Are you thinking of only putting it in the Discord?
Are you in that Twitter group?
I am, and that's where I would prefer to get it. But
Yeah.
if you only put it in Discord, I'll get it from there.
I mean, Discord would be preferred because it would be easy to just put it in one spot. But I'll add people to that Twitter group. As long as it's not posted publicly, I'm fine.
No, if most people get it from Discord, then do it in Discord.
Yeah.
I just figure out how to use Discord.
Yeah, I just don't know how many people use it for the link, so.
I use Discord for the links.
Okay, that's good. So if I can get feedback on that over the next while, I can adjust as needed. But it's going to be like primarily the Discord. But I'll have that group open for if anyone wants to get added to that doesn't want to deal with it. And likewise, if anyone just wants to go with the Discord and wants to be removed from that Twitter group so they don't get dual notifications, that's also fine.
What is this? Oh, what did I do? Come on. See, I'm already having trouble with Discord. I already have an account. Why is it asking me to create one? Open Discord?
I can only imagine that Kevin trying to log into Discord. This sounds very familiar.
He went from being totally against Discord to having two.
I'm seriously an old man. I used my name to sign into Discord, and now it didn't ask me for a password. It says it's an unclaimed account.
I'd have to log out of
Is it 'cause
Discord
there's-
to see what you mean, and I don't want to do that.
Is it because there's numbers actually tied to it?
Not, I don't know.
Or it wasn't authorized, or not authorized, but
How do I
see
sign
you.
into Discord through a web page without it assuming I want to create a new account?
Melissa appears to know how to use Discord. You can ask her.
I've done it before. It's just not working right now. I open Discord. It thinks I'm creating a new account. It will not ask me for a password.
Weird.
That Mighty Q Dog is a new unclaimed account. And none of those things are correct. So you guys,
Maybe shut it down and try starting it up again.
I've already tried that.
Sorry, no idea.
I'd like to claim I'm doing something wrong. I'm not. I'm clicking open Discord. I don't know how to get it to ask me to sign in.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying you're wrong. I just don't know what the problem is.
I don't know. This is so. It's been nice knowing you guys on the Hangouts. I'll catch you someone. I'll have to catch you live because I'm not messing with Discord.
Well, that Twitter is still there for the moment.
I don't want you to have any hassle. Not on my account.
It's not really hassle to keep that open.
This
It's
is
just,
so goddamn stupid. Jesus. I swear I am turning into an old man. I do not know how this stuff works anymore. Where is the friggin' login page? Why does everything have to be a goddamn app these days?
I mean, technically it always has been. They just changed the name.
No, I mean, not in 1996. There were not apps. You logged into a web page.
I mean, you can still do that with Discord. You can just go to the Discord website.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Oh, okay.
That's actually what I'm trying to do, and I cannot figure out how to log me in. I entered my name, and it brought me to a page that says I should claim this account. Is it case sensitive? Is that what this is?
Maybe.
Could be. Possibly.
Okay. Off before I start to say something.
Actually your username, because I think the numbers might be attached to it. I can give you your number. I can type your numbers at you if that would be helpful.
No, I've got it here on the phone. It's giving me a different number under this one, but now that I've done that, I don't know how to get out of this and get back. Like I said, I don't know how to make it give me back to a login screen. I'm either on this unclaimed account forever or I have to restart my computer. And you guys, I mean, I don't know how to get this page to clear. It keeps
open up a new tab and go to discordapp.com.
That's where I'm at.
And then there's login in the upper right-hand corner.
I have a Twitter icon. You said upper left-hand corner?
Right.
Upper right. There should be Twitter, Facebook, some
Instagram.
camera looking thing,
Instagram, and then
What is it? I have one that says open.
So open to me implies that it thinks you're already logged in.
Correct, except I'm not. It says I'm on an unclaimed account.
So
And
to
I cannot
log
get out of it.
to
Let's see if I can see a log out section.
Here, wait, what's this?
so the log out that I've found,
Log out.
like down in this corner, it's got your name, then the like muted microphone, and then the headset, and then the gear.
Yeah, like bottom left.
Yeah, I found it.
If you click the gear, it brings you to something that says your account, and then there's a log out option at the bottom there.
So apparently I needed to use my email because now it's asking me for my email and password.
What in the hell? There's
I don't remember what
group
those are.
DMs now.
It says you're logged in.
I am through my phone.
Ah, okay.
I'm just trying to get. I'm sorry. I've really ruined this whole thing.
Don't worry about it. It's
able to log in with my account. It was that clearing of that, trying to figure out how to get out. Apparently, when I just entered Mighty Q Dog, I needed to enter Mighty Q Dog at my email address, Gmail. Okay, so now I'm in it. So where do you guys put the Hangout links?
streams. But I always post in the general that I put them there.
And then I should just go to the bottom. Today. There it is. Okay. Yeah, the reason I don't want to do it on my phone is because I call into the Hangouts on my PC.
Yeah.
And I don't want to type the link, and I don't know how to transfer it because, like I said, I'm an old man. So if there is a way to transfer between my phone and my PC easily, I have no idea how to do it. All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't know. But...
Don't change it on my account.
Copy paste email. That's all I can think of.
Copy and paste
into an email to yourself.
Yeah, that's how I would do again.
Or you could use a Twitter DM. Post it in a Twitter DM and then pull up Twitter on your computer.
Oh God, help
me. I think I'll just keep that Twitter group open until everyone moves over to Discord.
I'm so sorry, man.
No worries.
I tried not to get frustrated, but I was not successful.
I mean, I had to post the links to 2 places to begin with, and I'm still posting them to 2 places, so it's fine.
Well, I figured it out. Although I think you guys have been my tech support for Discord about once every 6 months because I just do not get it. All right, cool. Oh, Catherine's on. I was going to say goodbye now anyway because I need to go play some Shenmue. So
I am going to start tomorrow. I think
on your Wednesday stream. Now, see that have you played it before?
Nope.
Okay, I'm sorry. I thought you had, and I tried not to put any spoilers into the chat.
Oh, I didn't see anything that I didn't interpret anything as.
Okay.
Like, I have no idea what I'm getting into.
Okay, I'm sorry. For some reason, I thought you played it, but then I still wanted to be a little bit careful.
Nah.
But maybe if you're starting from the beginning tomorrow, I can actually watch your stream because I should be ahead of you.
Well ahead of me, yeah.
Not well ahead, just ahead.
Yeah.
Same here, actually, because I played a little bit when it came out on PS4 and Xbox. I wish I had it on Xbox now. But
why is that?
Just because I would prefer everything on Xbox. I'm just kind of annoyed at Sony at the moment.
All right. Hey, before I go, let me ask you this. I don't have a PlayStation Pro 4. A PlayStation 4 Pro. I don't have it. Does it sound like I should just wait for the 5?
That's what I'm doing. Because do you have another like HDMI 2.0 cable? Like you have the X, right?
I do have an X,
So
and I'm
like,
using the cable that came with it.
yeah, so that's a newer version of the HDMI cable. If you get another one of those, like on Amazon or something, and you plug that into your base PS4, you can turn HDR on. It's not 4K, but it's something.
You can? Is that right?
Yeah, you just need the new
They
cable.
patched in HDR functionality on all PS4s.
Wow.
Yeah. But you
Well, I
need the
guess-
2.2, I think, is the cable
Whatever the
you
thing
need.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
The only reason I don't have one yet is because I tried to look it up on Amazon. I'm like, I have no idea what I'm looking for. Close tab.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's HDMI 2.2 is the version you need.
Yeah, I think I'll probably
It
just end up
should
going
say, it
into a
should say
store.
HDR 4K compatible.
Yeah,
Why do you need a different cable for that?
it's just
It's
a new standard and speed for it.
It's a new speed. Okay.
Yeah, it's like a new SKU of HDMI.
It's your Cat 5 versus 5E versus 6E, right?
Okay.
Like it's
I was wondering.
equivalent.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I don't have an HDR TV, so I'll probably need one of those too.
Yeah,
I'm
so
sure
there would be
Melissa.
no difference then.
We need a cable, and we'll need the TV.
Well,
All
now
right.
that we have the cable,
Yeah, now that we have the cable, it'd be stupid to waste that money and not upgrade the TV. That's a good idea. I should use that. Is she on the chat? All right. Well, anyway, I don't know why I brought that up. I'm thinking about waiting to get a PlayStation 5 instead of a Pro. And I'm wondering, no, I'm not going to complete that thought because I don't think it's actually true.
We'll know whether or not that's a worthwhile wait in June. So.
Oh, yeah.
More than likely.
Yeah, I probably wasn't buying a PlayStation 4 anytime soon anyway.
well, the nice thing is if you go that route, your VR will be compatible.
Yeah.
So
I am expecting. Yeah, they're saying that now, but I fully expect that they'll probably release a new VR.
Oh, sure.
And I'll probably be in for it.
You think? Huh?
Honestly, if they have a new slew of games to go with it, I will absolutely pick up another VR because like that's at the price I entered in.
If it's a step up too, I mean that's the important thing is it would need to be the next iteration needs to have something else,
other than the Move controllers or a new Move controller. That's not
they will most certainly do new Move controllers. Yeah, there's no reason why they wouldn't.
Tracking would be interesting, like new tracking, maybe wireless.
The PS3 Move controllers will probably stop working. Like those probably won't be compatible
with the new one. Yeah,
with the new one.
Mercy killing.
Phase some things out.
That would be a mercy killing. They work, but they're not ideal.
Well, they don't fit in all the nice chargers that are built for PS4 stuff.
All right, let me ask one more thing since I'm on and we're talking about new tech. I told Musty earlier I signed up for Game Pass. What should I play? Shenmue. What else?
The Tomb Raider games are all there?
Wait, Shenmue's on Game Pass?
No, that's what I should play.
Oh, okay.
Once he's done with Shenmue,
there's Prey. If you want,
Ori is on there.
Ori's on there.
Wasn't that a game?
Was it Game with Gold?
If it was ever Games with Gold, I already grabbed it.
I don't think it was.
Check.
I wouldn't know because I got it free with my systems.
Oh, you got that system?
Yeah, that was a great bundle. I just finished the final game for it yesterday.
Was that the one with like 6 arcade games or something on it?
It was the Rare Replay, which I didn't really touch.
Yeah,
okay. And I'm not counting that as one of the games with it just because it's a compilation. And Gears, I had already beaten that. It's just a remake of it, so I didn't really count that. But I played Tomb Raider at the time. I finished Rise of the Tomb Raider yesterday, finally.
Oh, that
took me a while. But if you haven't played Shadow of the Tomb Raider, that's on there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Monster Hunter just got added.
Okay.
Mortal Kombat 10.
Yeah.
Forza Horizon 4.
Yeah. Okay.
If
I don't see Ori, so you're probably right, Musty. I don't think it was a game of the month.
If you want an potentially interesting, but maybe not the highest quality, like in terms of AAA standards, RPG, Technomancer. If that's still on there. Nope, that was a Games with Gold this month. Never mind.
Oh, I
Yeah,
grabbed that.
But you have it
Saints
already
Row
anyway, so.
4, yeah, Saints Row 4, I think, recently got added.
Okay.
I think all the
Games?
Saints Rows might be in there.
Just so you're aware,
Hold on.
games that are leaving soon. The Swapper, Sonic and Knuckles, both Ollie Ollie games. I think no one would recommend Homefront Revolution anyway, so that's a thing. But
Okay.
Sheltered. There's a couple games that are leaving soon.
Okay. I
So
never
check
heard
those
of it. We bought it. We thought we'd check it out to play Edith Finch, which I know is an old Games of the Month game, but we didn't play it back then. So
Observer is another interesting one.
okay. I went through it yesterday and I grabbed Edith Finch, Mortal Kombat 10, Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
The Shantae games are on there too.
Ooh, yeah. And I grabbed another one, but I cannot for the life of me remember what it was.
So one of the nice things when you're in your games and apps menu, right?
Yeah.
You got that. It has it partitioned by games that are on those subscriptions. So if you have gold, it'll have gold and it'll show you games that you have that are tethered to that gold subscription, and it has Game Pass and does the same thing.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
So the nice thing is you can know you can go into not yet installed on that, and there's all the gold stuff right there. Or all the Game Pass games that you could download in the moment are right there. So you can
under the not yet installed.
Yes.
Oh,
I
that's
don't
great.
know if it's 100% accurate every time, but there's you can just tab over with the bumpers.
Yeah.
Darksiders War Mastered Edition.
Okay. Cool.
You might enjoy Recore.
Oh, I have Recore.
Mm.
I bought that physical when it first came out. I've yet to play it, but yeah.
The if you bought when you put that in the first time, eventually.
No, I did.
Okay, the definitive edition.
Yeah. I think I did that at the time they were doing that promotion. In fact, I might have opened it then just to grab that. But then they also made it. Didn't they also make it a games with? I think I have a digital version of it too.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe.
I think it was.
Yeah, I think I got Recore. I know I bought the physical, and I think I got the digital version. I think
Have you played Double Dragon Neon?
That's one. Yeah, that's one I was going to look at too.
All the Fables are on there. Fallout 3, Fallout 4.
Crackdown.
Yeah. All the Gears games.
Yeah, I've got those. Yeah.
And if you live close to somebody who has an Xbox One, and you're okay with having to go over there and put your account on their Xbox and make it your home, you can have access to all of their games and vice versa.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that. I was actually talking to my wife about doing that. My kids have an Xbox One upstairs, and I was thinking about doing that so that they could get access to all of my my games.
Yeah, you could buy a game digitally once, and it would be on both systems.
Right, because that one's my home, and then the one I'm on is it's on it because I'm signed in, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I have that going for my mom's systems that are upstairs. She has her own setup.
That's what Technodork does.
Right.
That's how he and his son play Anthem on one purchase.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I think I played with him.
And he is more inclined to buy games digitally for that reason.
Yeah.
Because that's the intended purpose of that service is to allow that to happen.
Yeah, I would have really liked to have seen what Microsoft was really planning when they first announced it and did a horrible job talking about it. Because it seemed like it was something along those lines, but with more people.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it was license sharing is effectively what I think it became. Like I hand my license over to you, and then I don't have access to it until I either pull it back or
buy another copy.
Don Magic ruined everything.
Yeah. Continuing on recommendable games from the list, there's a Game Pass app on the phone, so I'm just looking through there.
Everything's an app now.
And it's not even in with the actual Xbox app. So it's 2 separate Xbox apps.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Well, and
Headlander.
before they still have the 360 Smart Glass also. So there's 360 Smart Glass, the Xbox app, and the Game Pass app. For what it's worth, though, there's a PlayStation app and a PlayStation Messenger app.
There's more than that, I think. PlayStation. Yeah.
Yeah, Crackdown 3. I've heard good things about Crackdown 3.
Mixed.
Well,
depending on which one you're playing. Like if you're playing the single player campaign or the whatever the hell the multiplayer one is that no one cares about.
Warzone?
Something like that.
So go through the single player campaign.
I still need to play that. But in the interest of just getting through this list, I'll say Headlander for the third and final time. Kind of a short Metroidvania type thing. It's interesting. Hellblade.
I haven't played through that.
Yeah. Hellblade is an interesting one, obviously.
Ooh, I grabbed that physical.
Do you have that Hydro Thunder Hurricane for 360?
Yeah, and I saw your scores on that.
It has been a while, but I would play it again. I would absolutely play that again.
Yeah, you're pretty good at that game.
It's really good. I don't know if I would still be, but the game's really good. Cameo is on there. Rare game that I constantly...
Cameo, really?
Yeah, that I constantly kind of plug, I guess. It's not the best game, but no one talks about it enough. Lego Batman 2 was semi-recently added, so that's something.
Okay. Well, I got to get through Shenmue.
Yeah. The Metro games, the first 2 anyway.
Yeah. The thing is, I'm finding there's a lot of overlap between what I've already bought.
Yeah.
It was Game Gold that I grabbed because I try to make a habit of grabbing those every
Yeah,
week.
I think some of the early Game Pass being gold ones were not unintentional.
Yeah.
It was a way to help. I mean, it was a way to kind of make up to the people who missed it because they weren't on gold at the time, but it didn't help the people who were. It just helped inflate the number of games on Game Pass.
Yeah, but hey, not everyone grabbed it with gold, so
that's true. I've had a couple of lapses and I missed good, fairly decent gold months, but
I wish they do like a catch-up thing where you could like
that's
maybe.
Yeah,
I know. I'm hoping they would do something for free or something where they'd say, "Hey, you know what? This month you can have a third game, and it can be any one of these 10 previous games with gold. If you missed it before, you can grab one of these
that'd be
ones
cool.
that you missed in the past."
So that would be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would help me. I know I missed some.
Should tell Phil.
Yeah. Quantum Break, Rhyme.
Go ahead and write to him. Let him know.
Probably just buy the new. Was it Game Pass Plus or Game Plus
Ultimate?
There we go.
Which
Shadow
is coming
Complex.
later this year.
What's that?
It's both services, Game Pass and Gold together.
Yeah.
I don't know that it's really that much of a deal, but they haven't talked about if it's going to be a discounted rate annually.
Yeah.
Technically, it's a discount because individually those services are $10 a month if you are doing it monthly. And they're saying it's $15 for both of them per month, which is really like you're paying for your monthly Game Pass and you're paying for the gold if it was priced on the annual rate and then broken out over the months. So it's 10 and 5 instead of 20. So it looks like it's a discount, but really I think it needs to be like 12. Like 12 would be a good price point for me.
As that stands there, that would essentially be a buy one, get one half off for the services.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. I think the rest of the list is pretty self-explanatory for which ones are grabs or not, but I'll plug Shadow Complex again for another good Metroidvania.
Oh, yeah. I played that back on the 360 when it first came out. I think that might have been the first digital game I ever bought.
Summer of Arcade.
Worthwhile purchase. That was a good one. I beat that 5 times to get all the trophies, to get all the achievements.
Wow. No, I've only beaten it once. But I don't have this new one for the Xbox One. Wasn't it like a remastered?
Yeah, and that's on there.
Yeah, that's what's on there. So that might be worth a revisit. It's
Yeah.
been like 10 years.
I'll have to play it 5 times again. It's like minimal run, complete run, and all that stuff.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking forward to checking it out. But I think I should probably go now.
Yeah. All these games and more to put off playing. All these games and more you can put off playing.
No, well, I've put off playing for like a half hour. I was going to go at like 9:15 to try to squeeze in a day. But all right. Thanks for the help. Thanks for everything. Yep. We'll see you guys next week.
All right.
Good night. It's almost 1 here, so I think I'm going to call it as well.
Yeah, I think I
think we should just call it. Started late tonight.
All right. Thank you to anybody who's still in chat.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, if anyone's watching or couldn't get in or something, feel free to give me feedback on how to do the links going forward. I'll take feedback on that. It's a work in progress. But Discord is the primary method of getting into it now.
That'll work.
Yeah. Okay. Gonna shut her down.
All right. Have a good night.
Yeah, you too. See everyone next week.
Later.